Who do you think is the best rookie cornerback in this draft class? The consensus out there is either Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon, my guy Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois, or Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State, the son of Joey Porter. Who do you think is the top cornerback in this draft class? Why you feel they are the best cornerback in this class, and what separates them from the others?
To me, the number one is Joey Porter Jr. But you got to also start to look at what you want, right? If you want a more physical corner, who I think is probably teetering closer to a safety position, then you might want Witherspoon, right? You know what I mean? You might want Witherspoon if you want the more physicality dude. But my problem with Witherspoon, he doesn't lack the full ball skills that I would like to see from a corner. I've seen too many times where he's running with receivers, the receivers looking back, and he hasn't turned his head yet. He just throws his arm up. I don't like that. Christian Gonzalez to me is one of the guys that I look at and I go, he has all the talent in the world and he knows it. The problem is because he knows it, he sometimes plays a little too cocky, in my opinion. And when I look at him, I think to myself, you would make 20 more plays if you actually stay sound in your technique. He relies so much on his athletic ability that at times he gets lazy in his technique. And I've seen him face guard people down the field or not even touch you at the line of scrimmage. And I'm trying to figure out, well, you in press position. Why aren't you putting them hands on him? Play mind games with him. And he doesn't do that all the time. But Joey Porter Jr., you get a little bit of it all around. You get a guy who can play with the ball skills, who can still be physical. He probably ain't as physical as Witherspoon, but he's very physical. And he has no problem harassing you down the field. He'll get you a few pass interference calls because he's going to beat the brace off of you while he's in press position, right? He's going to get what they say handsy and stuff. But I just when I look at the cornerbacks, I feel like Joey Porter Jr. has shown me more consistent play than the other guys. So when you look at Joey Porter Jr., a guy who you can go, okay, well, he didn't do much. He didn't have the interceptions. I know. He didn't have the force. I know. It wasn't like he had all these tackles. I hear everything you're saying. But what he did do is he harassed the hell out of people, and the ball was not allowed to get to you. And that's what you want. When you go through and you look at Witherspoon, he was in on that team for a minute. Play all 4 years at Illinois, right? Yeah, he got 4 or 5 interceptions in his career. He got a forced fumble in his career. He got like 25 pass deflects, with the most of them coming in his last season, right? You're like, okay, cool. These are all great information. Oh, he got the right. You look at all that stuff, right? But when I look at him, he lacks some of the most basic stuff. And yes, it can be taught. But I'm like, bro, you need to know when to play the player and when to play the ball. Sometimes I've noticed in games on certain downs and distance, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive at times. And it's like, when it comes to me, I'm a little bit conflicted between Joey Porter or Devon Witherspoon, because with Devon Witherspoon, it's like the dude has a lot of great plays, and some people try to compare him to Jeff Okuda. I said, bro, don't disrespect my guy Devon Witherspoon like that. It's like, I feel like in this draft class, when you look at Devon Witherspoon, it's like he has potential to be one of the best cornerbacks in the game. He can have an immediate impact right away, but it's just like, can you really teach a player who's so used to being so aggressive, and he can be really handsy at times? Like, can you really break somebody out of that habit?
Yeah. Hey, listen, the moment you become uncoachable, then you're useless to me, right? Like, I don't want, if you're talking about, listen, let me tell you something. It's not just football. This is life. In life, you must be coachable. Somebody should be able to correct you in your life, whether it's your friends, your mother, your father, your pastor, whether it's your teacher, somebody should be able to correct you and get you together. When you are uncoachable, you're useless. You've got all the answers.
No,
you ain't got no problems. Like it sounds strange to say it out loud, but no, you can't not be uncoachable. And to me, yeah, I don't. It can't. Yeah, you can coach it out of him. I have to believe you can coach it out of him. When I look at Gonzalez, like I said, this guy really, really should have every season. He should average 5 interceptions a season. He should. He won't, but he should. And
And when you look at Joey Porter, you know, like his film, I think may be the best because he went against Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'm pretty sure you already know about how much of a dog he is. And he did out of all the cornerbacks who matched up on them, Keely Ringo. I don't know if you remember Keely Ringo. That's the guy who everybody had mocked to the Lions during the season.
yeah. I mean, but they're gonna mock the cornerback because they're that's their job. Their job is to create things to have conversations about. So that's their job.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to mock these people to them because my job is to get people to talk. Right. And so I get it. Right. Like I full-fledged get it.
And when it comes to Joey Porter being the best cornerback in the draft, I'm still really high on Devon Witherspoon. You know, like I probably still would rank Devon Witherspoon number one over Joey Porter. I do like Joey Porter a lot. Maybe I am a little biased because I do have a friend that also played cornerback for Illinois named Tavon Nicholson as well. He had number 10. And Illinois' defensive coordinator, their defensive backs coach, has done an incredible job. When you look at the cornerbacks Illinois has produced, Nate Hobbs, slot cornerback for the Raiders, only decent D-back that they've drafted. And since the last decade, you also have Kirby Joseph at safety. It's like, I think Devon Witherspoon can turn out pretty well. He does have the versatility to play safety. He is scheme versatile. He can play man-to-man if you want to run a predominantly man defense. He can play zone, cover 3, and whatnot. But overall, you know, like I pretty much would agree with you. Well, I wouldn't. I could understand why Joey Porter is your cornerback one, and I'll push back against it. Like I probably would say it's 1A, 1B between Devon Witherspoon and Joey Porter, and this is how I view it.
No, that's fair. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to we make a mistake in trying to find out who is the most pro ready, right? Mm-hmm. Who's the most pro ready day one starter guy, but we should be trying to figure out who's going to be the better pro.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like who's going to be the guy that's going to be the better player overall, long term, and everything like that. And when I evaluate cornerbacks, I go by people who have done it at a high level and what they say. I go by what Deion said. Deion said, if I'm in press position, I'm going to play mind games with you. I may pop you this time, but the next 4 times, I may pop you 4 plays back to back. Hey, I may spend the whole quarter putting hands on you. But by the second quarter, you get to reaching out thinking I'm finna put you in a jam and ain't nothing for you to grab on to. Now you don't slow your route up. Now I'm in your head. I look at people like Darrell Revis, who talks about how he uses the sideline to his advantage. He keeps those receivers on the outside to the sideline and dare them to try to make a catch in a smaller radius. So I take all that and I put it together and I look at cornerbacks and I say, who met those standards? That's why last year I thought we was going to either take Sauce Gardner or Kyle Hamilton, and I was on the Kyle Hamilton train. And everybody trying to make him a linebacker. And I'm like, he's not a linebacker. Oh, yes, he is. I'm like, they've used that guy in the slot. They've used him at safety. They've used him in the box. And I said, what you don't realize is they got more out of him than we did out of Kirby Joseph. But people are going to spin that differently because Kirby Joseph got the interceptions, right? But when I was sitting there putting those same standards on an edge rusher to get sacks, I was told that that's not fair. So like I said, you have a biased fan base who see things a different way. But the reality is that I'm looking for those guys who are technically sound, those little things. Joey Porter Jr. wants to fight you in a phone booth. Gonzalez thinks he's cute. So he expects for you to just come to him. Witherspoon is like, okay, y'all, I'm just a dog. Like if you were to break it down like on some Dragon Ball Z stuff, Witherspoon would be like Vegeta, right? And Joey Porter Jr. would be Goku. And I feel like Krillin would be Gonzalez.
Krillin. I would at least give him Piccolo.
No, I can't give him Piccolo. He ain't because Piccolo took pride in what he did.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And he Piccolo wasn't cocky. Piccolo's confidence was high because he had already put the work in. With Gonzalez, he just relying on pure God gift talent. And I'm like, nope. The last time I saw that was a guy named Greedy Williams, and I adamantly was against it. But I think he's better than Greedy Williams. I'm just telling you the attitude is what scares me. That's all.